welcome back to an episode of 12-Inch Figure Fanatic. Remember to subscribe. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Iron Man 2 Black Widow Artisan Edition. They already came out with this figure previously, but it wasn't the Artisan Edition. It didn't look very classy like this one does. So we're going to take a closer look and see what we got here. So this is the Iron Man 2 version, just a reminder. Some of you have a preference towards particular outfits that she had over the course of the Avengers and Marvel films. I have no specific preference either way. The box is square shaped. It looks like there's actually two boxes here. It's got some red foiling to it. Sideshow exclusive. These days you're seeing everything that says Artisan. We even have a company Artisan. I recently did a figure review from them. It's my first figure from them, and very outstanding figure. So it looks like you have one window for the head sculpt. Very nice display here. And then you have one for the body, accessories, etc. So why they chose to do the Iron Man 2 version of her for the Artisan edition, I don't know. So this side of the box, there is nothing but the head sculpt itself. And of course there's an elaborate presentation associated with it. Comes in this nice case. It even has the Black Widow label on the case itself. And there we go. Outstanding. I mean, even in the detailing of the hair, the way they styled it, you can't achieve something like this with plastic sculpt, that's for sure. And yeah, I mean, everything about this head sculpt is just fantastic. The eyes, you got the rolling eyes, of course. Every figure they're coming out with now has the rolling eyes. But the sculpt, the paint job, I mean, it doesn't get any more perfect. It's literally flawless. I can't say anything negative about it. I mean, maybe we'll get to the point where they actually stitch the eyebrows and eyelashes. That'll be something. But of course, you're going to pay a premium for that as well. All right, let's see what else we have here. Several hands on top, all of them gloved. They really went all out with the plastic coverings to protect her. And of course, you know, they do this because if the figure is in this box, let's say for years on end, somebody finally opens it, they could get upset if they notice that the coloring of the plastic had come off onto the clothing material, which you know, these figures, that's known to happen, and they warn you that when you read the instructions. So another thing I notice is, the old days, the hand changes used to be a pain in the ass. Sometimes the instructions would even say you kind of have to warm up the section with a heat gun or a hair dryer, especially for head sculpt changes. Those days seem to be behind us, at least for Hot Toys, because I haven't had any trouble with hand changes. I think the last time I really had struggled with it was actually the INART Superman. That was just a pain in the ass. The material against the body was very slippery, and so just getting the thing on was just ridiculous. So let's get the head sculpt on here. All right, so I got the head sculpt on. It looked like on the stand you just had to rotate the head 180 degrees in order to loosen it off of its display peg. So it rests very nicely in there, snugly. You always have to be careful when you insert the head not to move the back of the pegs for the eyeballs. And of course, when you align the eyeballs, you have to get it just right, otherwise the head doesn't look right. That's one of the hazards of these scrolling eyes. So the figure itself looks fantastic. One of the problems that a lot of these full body suit figures have is you tend to see a seam in the butt. It's still kind of evident here, but not bad at all. I mean, you could feel it through the material that it's there, but it's not that bad. And I will say, as you stretch out the legs, the material stretches down a little bit too much, but hardly noticeable. The shoes are, the boots rather, are a solid rubber sculpt, but you've got very good dexterity and it stays put. So that's nice. The arms, good movement there, and it creases appropriately when you bend. The elbow could be a little bit more pronounced, but it's not bad. Same thing with the knee. Got good dexterity there. And I know one thing that a lot of guys, got creative with past versions of this figure is the zipper went up and down almost all the way, and so they would have a little bit more of the bust exposed. You don't have that option here because the zipper is just for decoration. It doesn't actually work. And the pro of that is that it looks more real because it's not an actual zipper. The con, of course, is you can't do that display of the bust line anymore. And yeah, everything looks very crisp. You've even got this glued on zipper right here. Let's see what else we have with the figure. All right, so you've got several of these, I think they were exploding, like throwing star type things. A few of those there. You've got this thing. I don't know what that is. Mace, maybe? I'll have to look at the instructions. And then you've got two handguns. Looks like one is I want to say a Walther PPK, and slide moves, and does the magazine come out? Yeah, magazine does come out. And it's plastic, but it's got a nice metallic looking finish to it and very nicely detailed. You can even read on there. Let's take advantage of my new 17 Pro camera feature here. Zoom in on that. It says Walther on there. So very nice. And then you've got the, zoom back out. The other gun here, I can't tell what this one is, but the slide works as well. And magazine comes out on this one as well. Very nice. Oh, here it is. My eyes are going. You are complete, it says. 9mm. Yeah. Very nicely detailed there. And then we have this glossy tile flooring base. Very nice. And it says Black Widow on the front. Now, one thing that I'm noticing here, and I'm very impressed by this, is that there's no stand hole in here. Did Hot Toys finally start moving towards magnetic base? At least with their Artisan line they have, apparently. Let's see. Yes, they have. So the bottom of her feet are magnetic. I wish they would do this more. So that's fantastic. And that's it. So let me get this figure set up and give you my final thoughts. All right, so here she is all set up. Magnets work pretty nice at securing her, despite movement of the base. This is an outstanding thing. Oh, by the way, I did find out that this, I thought it was a mace, and it might very well be, but they label it as a spray can. That's what they called it. So I can't find anything wrong with this figure at all, especially since they did a magnetic base on here. Otherwise, I would have complained about a ugly black stand floating around in the back. Yeah, this figure is absolutely flawless, and I have to give it a 10 out of 10. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. That was close. Very good figure. I don't know how many other figures they're going to come out with as an Artisan edition, but I like what I'm seeing here. Even some of the recent 2.0 of re-releases of other figures like the T1000 and the Batman that I did reviews on don't match some of the features that I'm seeing here, and I really like it. This one, I would say, actually does compete with the kind of things that INART is producing. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you next time.